for weeks have been saying how much of a depressing anime this is. Of course, not in a bad way. It's, you know, it's a good, mature, like, depression. To me, I haven't been feeling depressed because of the anime. The anime has never made me feel depressed. I mean, I usually watch the anime with, you know, a serious mood and stuff like that, and I love all the symbolism, and when things get depressing, I just analyze, really. I don't personally feel depressed myself, but after this episode, how it ended, that was heavy. That weighed a toll on me. I was like, oh man. So this is what people have been talking about. I don't like this feeling. Like, ooh, man, those of you have been feeling this feeling for weeks now. How are you still watching this anime? There's no way I could. Oh man, my heart. There's no way. Yeah, this episode, the majority of it was very light. But that was the point. It was supposed to be really light to trick you. Because at first I thought Matsunaga, you know how we saw that he was praying and like getting fortunes and stuff like that, like please let me win, please let me win. I'm just so like, oh look at this funny old man. And Ray, he was just like, oh my gosh, he's praying, oh my gosh, what's wrong, what fortune did he get, oh my gosh, this poor soul. And the words that Kyoko had said to him earlier that morning about how he should throw the match, and how it's like he's, you know, killing an old dog. Ray was thinking about that over and over again, wondering if he should throw the match, but then he decided no. And then when it was time for the match, the old man acts a little ridiculous, and then it looked like that he was playing at random with no strategy whatsoever. In fact, even when he entered into the room, he kind of just stopped and stood there, and so we were just like, what's wrong with this old man? And then when we saw that he wasn't playing quite right, you know, with no strategy, just playing at random, I was just thinking, oh god, just Ray, put him out of his misery. He has to retire. The old man needs to retire. Don't feel bad. You'll feel better afterwards, actually, when he retires, okay? He doesn't need us anymore. He's old. He can't think right anymore. But that's not the case at all. Such a well done tone shift. Making us think that this was just a silly old man. It was just like, you need to retire, old man. Look at you. But no, it was so much more than that when we find out towards like the last 4 minutes of the episode. We see after Ray took out the old man, you know, to eat, and then he got drunk and stuff, we find out from his perspective, Matsunaga, he really didn't want to lose. And Ray, he was just like, do you like shogi? And he's just all like, hell if I know. But after he cried, we realized that he is truly passionate about shogi. And then we see Matsunaga, he said that when he first heard of Ray being the 5th middle school professional shogi, he was scared and felt bad that he was scared. Matsunaga is a professional shogi player of 40 years, and Ray can't even believe that. He can't imagine himself in 40 years, because that's like more than twice his age. It's incredible for him. And Matsunaga, he saw Ray as the Grim Reaper, and he was frightened. So when it was time for the match, and he saw Ray, he was just so like, so that's my Grim Reaper. A beautiful, bright young man. He wasn't scared anymore and started to play seriously, because he's like, thank goodness, this will be the cause of my death. Of course, the death being his retirement. This will be the death of his career. And then when he was playing, he struggled. He had a strategy at first, but he struggled along the way. And basically, his thoughts in the back of his mind about, you know, his career and things like that took over. And he was distracted and just didn't know what to do, and he struggled throughout the rest of the match, and it was over in 15 minutes. So that was really sad, and then the man started crying and stuff, being like, I don't want to give up now, I don't want to retire. It's just like, oh man. So then, this was badass. Kyoko, she's on the phone. She's just like, oh, you want me to come over so I can see you again? And then Ray's just so like, Matsunaga's not gonna retire. And she's just like, what? Ray? And then he hangs up. Matsunaga's not gonna retire. Ray will not allow that. And then we can end the episode with another comedic moment about how Matsunaga doesn't want to do chores over at his house, and that was a good episode. What made me depressed is finding out everything from Matsunaga's perspective, how much passion he really has for shogi. Again, 40 years. They really stressed this out to us. 40 years. That's a long time to be playing shogi. This was his professional career, and seeing the young geniuses come up, he feared for his life. And seeing that it was over, feeling like he had to quit, it was heavy, man. It really was. So that was this episode. A great episode. Well done, Tone Shift. Bravo, Shaft. Let me know your thoughts on this episode and catch me tomorrow as I review Ajin. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.